The air smelled like new beginnings and overpriced lawn fertilizer. I had just moved into Evergreen Lakes, a neighborhood that looked like a Hallmark movie but had the soul of a DMV line. I wasn't looking for trouble, just wanted to unload boxes, shake a few hands, and maybe not get passive aggressively stared at for parking my truck slightly off center. Too much to ask? Apparently, yes. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top notch HOA drama. My moving day was smooth, aside from the HOA welcome packet shoved into my mailbox like it was a warning letter from the IRS. Inside, 46 pages of rules, 2 coupons to a dry cleaner I'll never use, and a glossy brochure of smiling people I've never seen in real life. I waved at my neighbors, half waved back, the other half just judged me for existing without a hedge trimmer in hand. Then there was Karen. I didn't know her name at the time, but every neighborhood has one. You know the type, walks a yappy dog, fake smiles through gritted teeth, and looks like she files complaints for fun. She gave me the once-over from across the street like I was a walking HOA violation. Spoiler alert, I was. I had a truck, with mud on it, and apparently mud offends her. Still, I played nice. I mowed my lawn, waved like I cared, and even went to one of those community bonfires that felt more like a forced cult gathering with marshmallows. People seemed decent. Retired folks, new families, one guy who grilled ribs in the rain while blasting 80s rock, my kind of people. We were settling in just fine, until Destiny, aka Karen's obsession with control, decided to lock onto me like a heat-seeking missile. I didn't know yet, but I was about to become her full-time hobby. All because of one thing I owned. One perfectly legal, registered thing she couldn't control, couldn't ban, and definitely couldn't tolerate. But that comes later. For now, I was just the new guy with a slightly loud truck and no clue I'd moved into HOA hell. You ever feel eyes on you even when you're deep in the woods? That's what it felt like the day I decided to take my rifle out for some early morning hunting. Just me, the trees, some fresh air, and the comforting click of a safety switch. Peaceful, legal, therapeutic. But in HOA land, peace is a privilege granted only if you worship manicured lawns and Karen's unhinged sense of safety. I had barely loaded my gear back into the truck when I saw her. Trench coat, sun visor, and binoculars standing at the edge of the cul-de-sac like she was auditioning for a role in Desperate Spies of Suburbia. She didn't wave. She just stared. I waved. She flinched, like I'd pulled the trigger on her sense of superiority. That was the moment I knew. The hunt was on, and I wasn't the one doing the hunting anymore. By that evening, rumors were already spreading. One neighbor, Jim, stopped me mid-grill to whisper, "Karen's saying you walked around the neighborhood with an assault rifle." Assault rifle? Ma'am, it's a bolt-action hunting rifle I've owned for years, registered, locked up, and used legally. But logic has never been HOA Karen's weapon of choice. Her ammo? Fear. Drama. And mass email threads. I found a note taped to my front door. It wasn't signed, but it reeked of Karen's cologne. Cheap control. This is a family-friendly neighborhood. Please refrain from brandishing military-grade weapons. Concerned residents have noticed your behavior. HOA Safety Watch Committee. Didn't know the HOA had a Safety Watch Committee. Pretty sure it's just Karen and her imaginary backup squad. I figured a quick conversation might help. Big mistake. I saw her at the mailbox and politely explained the gun was used for legal hunting. She interrupted mid-sentence. "I don't care if you're a Navy SEAL. Guns don't belong in family neighborhoods. You're scaring the children." "Lady, the kids are more terrified of your chihuahua than my rifle." But logic bounced off her like bullets off a tank. She walked away mid-convo, muttering something about starting a petition. And just like that, I wasn't just the new guy with a gun. I was public enemy number 1 in the Book of Karen. I should have seen it coming when I found my mailbox stuffed with 3 identical violation notices, all in red ink, all mysteriously unsigned, and all accusing me of endangering community tranquility through possession of a threatening object. Threatening object? What was it this time? My rifle or my steel barbecue tongs? Karen had declared war, and her battlefield was bureaucracy. Every other day, a new violation popped up. Noise disturbance, unapproved vehicle, improper storage of hunting gear. Apparently, the backseat of a locked truck is now a federal offense. I tried talking to her again, calmly explaining that the rifle was legal, registered, stored properly, and only used off-site for hunting. but her eyes glazed over like she was blocking out logic with mental earmuffs. "You're making the neighborhood feel unsafe," she snapped. "What if someone breaks into your house and steals it?" So her solution was to break into my life instead? I reminded her this was America, not a gated commune in Fantasyland. But to Karen, freedom is fine, as long as she's the one handing it out. She even held an emergency HOA meeting without inviting me. Ironically, a few of my neighbors did show up, and most of them weren't on Team Karen. Jim from next door stood up for me. He's not threatening anyone. He's a responsible gun owner. Heck, he's quieter than Karen's lawnmower at 6 a.m. Marissa chimed in too. "Karen, my husband's a hunter. Are you saying he shouldn't live here either?" Karen turned beet red and claimed, "This isn't about hunting. It's about a pattern of intimidation." Intimidation? I've mowed my lawn, waved politely, and hosted a cookout. The scariest thing I've done is play country music at a reasonable volume. But logic had no place in Karen's crusade. She started dropping eviction threats, quoting rules from the HOA manual, like scripture, twisting them to fit her personal fear campaign. I got an official letter saying I was under review for actions deemed incompatible with the neighborhood ethos. Ethos? Ma'am, this isn't a yoga retreat, it's a cul-de-sac. At that point, it wasn't just about the gun, it was about power. And Karen was drunk on hers. Karen must have finally snapped. Maybe it was the fact that no one signed her ridiculous petition. Maybe it was the way neighbors kept smiling at me like I wasn't public enemy number one. Or maybe it was just good old-fashioned Karen delusion, the kind that whispers, "If I can't control it, I must destroy it." Either way, she crossed the line in a way even her HOA handbook couldn't defend. It all happened on a Wednesday afternoon. I was at work, sitting through a painfully slow meeting, when my phone buzzed with a security alert. Motion detected, side entrance. I pulled up the camera feed expecting a delivery guy or maybe a wandering cat. But no, it was Karen. She was wearing a dark hoodie, gloves, and had a small flashlight clenched between her teeth like she was in some budget spy movie. She crouched by my fence, checked over both shoulders, and then started messing with the side gate. When it didn't open, she scaled it. Badly. Her shoe got caught, and she flopped over like a sack of potatoes. She yanked at the ring cam near the back door, but too late. The footage had already uploaded to the cloud. Then she used a screwdriver to jimmy open the laundry room window and slipped inside. And that's when the real fun started. The moment she crossed the motion sensor inside, my alarm system went off. Blasting sirens, flashing lights, the full home defense package. She panicked, spun around, and ran straight into a hallway closet door, fell backward, and landed squarely in front of another camera. The footage was so clear you could count the beads of sweat on her forehead. I pulled out my phone, called the police, and said, completely calm, "Yeah, hi, my neighbor just broke into my house. I believe she's trying to steal my legally registered hunting rifle." Dispatch didn't waste time. "Units en route. Stay on the line. We've accessed your security feed." By the time she tried escaping out the back door, 2 squad cars were already pulling up. The officers cornered her between my deck and a row of bushes. She froze, dropped the screwdriver, and tried to act like she was checking on a gas leak. Her story? "He has a dangerous weapon. I was protecting the neighborhood." The officers weren't impressed. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for felony burglary, attempted theft, and trespassing." The cuffs clicked on, and she was walked out of my yard while neighbors peeked from windows. Jim across the street even filmed it, not to be petty, just for evidence. Obviously. Later that week, I got a call from the detective. Karen had been officially charged. Her lawyer tried to play the mental health angle, but with the crystal clear video footage, the court didn't budge. The judge handed down a $15,000 fine, 60 days in county jail, 2 years of probation, and a no-contact order with me. And best part, she was banned from holding any leadership role within the HOA for 5 years. The HOA went into silent mode after that. Not a single letter, notice, or side-eyed glance since. They even quietly amended the community rules to clarify that legal firearm ownership does not constitute grounds for HOA enforcement action. As for Karen, she got out after her 60 days, moved out of the neighborhood 6 weeks later, and her house sold at a loss. Word spread fast, not just about the arrest, but about the Facebook video titled "Karen's Backyard Break-In," Crime, Cameras, and Consequences. It had over 14K views by the time she left. And me? I'm still here, still legal, still hunting. Only now, my driveway's the safest spot in the neighborhood. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below.